on the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scoggins.
And a pleasant Tuesday afternoon to you. Welcome to the program. So glad you could be with us. We want to talk sports with you today at 520-848-1290. As always, a lot to get to. We had a pair of Monday night games last night. One that was just absolutely ugly. If you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, I know some people that follow the Jaguars. Buddy of mine lives in Jacksonville. They go to a lot of games, but that is not a team that you really want to be too pleased with at the moment. They got a lot of problems down there in Jacksonville. Buffalo, on the other hand, might be looking like the best team in the AFC right now, not named Kansas City. The more things change, the more they stay the same. We've got some 3-0 teams on that side of the ledger to talk about, being the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, and surprisingly enough, David Amata's Pittsburgh Steelers. Are you shocked at all that this team has not lost a game yet this year?
I am shocked that they have not lost a game. I am not shocked to say that we're suddenly the crown of the AFC North, because I thought that as bad as we were going to look, I thought the rest of the division was going to look just as bad, because it's a division that eats itself, as you are very much well aware of.
Well, yeah, The Bengals fell flat on their faces on Monday Night Football, the hands of former Sun Devil quarterback Jaden Daniels in the battle of the LSU quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels, of course, followed Joe Burrow to Baton Rouge after Burrow was a top pick in the draft and won a national championship there at LSU.
Those are both one-year guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
They both only played 1 year.
1 year
LSU,
there, yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. I think Joe was only 1 year. He may have been two, but I'm not sure if he was. I think he may have been 2 years under Ed Ogeron before he really blew open.
Eddie O, Coach O, man, that brings back some memories. Where is Coach O right now? I'd have thought that somebody that he'd be back coaching. He just loves it so much. I thought for sure he'd be back just doing something for somebody at some point. But have not really heard much about Coach O lately.
Yeah, probably got himself in a little bit too much trouble if you ask certain people. But actually, yeah, it looks like it was 2 years at LSU where he had about 13 games started there in his first year, and then that's when he had the breakout season and won the national championship with LSU in his second year in 2019.
We'll come up to that game. Also, obviously, the Buffalo Bills, we mentioned, had the big win. Tucson's own John Fina was there. We'll hear from him coming up a little bit later. Apparently, he is the new riler up of Bills Mafia on national television. You know the interesting thing? So I've mentioned several times over the course of the last week, we went last year to the Cardinals game. We saw the Cardinals and the Rams last year. Saw the Cardinals and the Rams this year. So last year we went up to the Cardinals game, and we got there early, and we were trying to figure out what to do. So we figured, let's just go into the stadium early and see if there's like any place like where you can just hang out before the games, maybe go if they have maybe some of the other NFL games and that kind of thing. So we ended up like down at this lower level club kind of lounge that was kind of on the field level. And John Fina was there signing autographs for fans as a Cardinal. And I'm thinking to myself now, I know he was affiliated with the Cardinals as a broadcaster. I don't think he actually ever played for St. Louis. He maybe, I think he might have maybe been in a camp or something with them. But he's considered one of their alumni too. He's very popular. He was down there signing autographs and taking pictures with folks. And he had his son. He had his youngest son with him, the one that just obviously both of his sons are going to be playing at Duke. One's there now. One has just signed with Duke. The younger son, who's at South Point Catholic right now, was there with him. And I was like, man, you're just all over the place. You're like Mr. Popular, that John Fina. He is well-loved in Bills country, obviously. Was a part of those teams with Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and Biscuit and all those guys that went to all those Super Bowls and never won any of them. But you'll often see John during Arizona basketball season sitting near courtside with his Bills hat on or a Bills shirt on. So he is definitely all about his Buffalo Bills. It's pretty incredible when you think about the fact that probably two of the best linemen to ever come out of the University of Arizona played for the Buffalo Bills. When you talk about, obviously, John Fina and Glenn Parker, who used to host this radio show, to which we are currently both Bills offensive line legends there. So we'll hear from John Fina coming up a little bit later, as we'll hear from Damar Hamlin. That was beside the fact that the Bills just absolutely blew out the Jaguars and Josh Allen is looking even better and better when people thought that offense might take a step back this year.
Yeah, you're asking who's going to lead the league in quarterback touchdown passes, DK.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be your
guy.
answer. He might. I mean, clearly he's probably going to have 15 or 20 on the ground as well. So
This season, absolutely.
I wonder if that counts in Vegas. Does that count? The rushing touchdowns
it would be
in Vegas?
differentiated. It would be total.
Yeah.
It'd be total touchdowns or passing
Okay,
touchdowns.
all right. Yeah, but he's. You're right. I mean, the things that he's doing out there right now are pretty impressive by Josh Allen. But again, Damar Hamlin getting that interception last night on Monday Night Football, his first Monday night game after the one where he collapsed and almost died at the beginning of 2023. Just that was the moment. That was the moment. Horrible pass, but should have never had a chance to intercept because that was just an absolute horrible pass by Trevor Lawrence, but glad he got that and got that moment.
Yeah, no, huge moment and leading the team out and all that. I got a quick question. So it's established that you're not a huge fan of shorter quarterbacks. Is there an upper end limit to that? I mean, Josh Allen big enough for you, a little bit too tall? How's that work?
No, I mean, no. Why would I be offended by? No, I mean, I don't think you want your quarterback to be like 6'7".
Yeah, like Will Chamberlain running back there.
Or anything like that. But no, yeah, absolutely. I 6'5", I think is probably. I mean, like who's.
You're going to say
that's
that
an interesting
want,
who's the tallest quarterback ever?
You're going to say you wouldn't want Jared Lorenzen to be your quarterback, the man who is known as Hefty Lefty.
He wasn't tall though. He was just a big kid.
285.
Yeah, 285.
285,
but he was
6'4".
He was 6'4".
6'4".
I didn't think he was that tall.
Oh, he was that tall. He was a big
I just
fella.
knew he was a rest in peace, Jared Lorenzen. But I didn't think he was that tall. I knew he was a big kid. But I did not know he was that tall. But yeah, I'd be interested. 6'5" to me, I think would be about as tall as you would want a quarterback.
Dan McGuire apparently is the tallest ever.
Dan McGuire, I remember Dan McGuire.
And he was a bust. He was a pick in the mid-'90s, early '90s. Played 5 seasons.
Didn't
they call him a bust.
Where do you play? Did he go to Boston College? No.
San Diego State.
San Diego State. That's right. San Diego State.
6'8".
Yes. Yeah, I remember Dan McGuire. Yeah, that's.
Brock Osweiler is third on this list, 6'7".
He was tall. He's the analyst on the game this weekend.
Paxton Lynch, 6'7".
Brock Osweiler is the game analyst on the Fox broadcast of Arizona and Utah this
Scott
weekend.
Mitchell, that's Dragon Ball's favorite.
Scott Mitchell.
University of Utah,
Okay.
6'5" and a half, 6'6". So, yeah.
Dan McGuire.
6'8" is the tallest ever.
Scott
Two of those guys
Mitchell.
got something in common in that John Elway fell in love with them because of how tall they were.
Yeah, good point.
Wow. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We've got a lot in store for you today. Noah Fifita chatted with the media this afternoon after practice. We'll hear from the quarterback of the Arizona Wildcat, gets his thought. In fact, we're going to hear from both of the quarterbacks. We're going to hear from the quarterback of the football team, and we're going to hear from the quarterback of the Arizona Volleyball team, Avery Scoggins. She is a true freshman, and she was named the Big 12 Rookie of the Week today, right prior to the team leaving to get on the plane and head to Texas for their Big 12 opening weekend.
You mean the undefeated team leaving?
The undefeated Arizona women's volleyball team at 11-0 on this season. Now, obviously they've got to open on the road, which is never easy. They're going into places they've never played before, and so you got to hope that I would hope that they split, because again, the thing is that they haven't really played anybody yet this year. 11-0. The only Power 5 or Power 4 or however you want to term it now team they played was Alabama. So you'd really hate to see them go down there and not win either of these games, because then you got to wonder what that does to the mentality of a team that's feeling good about itself coming off 11 consecutive wins. But Avery Scoggins, 75 assists this past weekend. That led the league, 12.5 assists per set. That was fourth most nationally this past week by a setter. Marks the first time the Wildcats have finished the non-conference slate undefeated since 2009, and this is the first time in the history of the Arizona women's volleyball program that two freshmen have won league honors in the same season. Avery Scoggins, Rookie of the Week this week. Carly Cisneros was Rookie of the Week in week 1 of the season. That's never happened before. You got to like when you've got a freshman setter and a freshman outside hitter and who can also play defense, 6 rotation, that bodes pretty well, I think, for the future of this program, that two of your most important positions are true freshmen, and they're already contributing at such an extremely high level.
Also, not
for an undefeated
familiar
team.
with each other, right? Because the way I understand is they did play some club against each other.
Yes,
when they
they
were
did.
younger.
In fact, you'll hear, that was one of the questions I asked Avery Scoggins in the press briefing, and she talked about that. You know, again, they didn't know, obviously, she was like, it's kind of, they didn't know they were going to be teammates at the time they were playing, so it's kind of like, oh, yeah, you remember that you were in the same gym with that person.
All athletes are equal, so when you see, when you circle the schedule and see the quote-unquote number 1 ranked recruit in the country is coming to play, you know people get up for those kind of matches.
Exactly.
Real quick, DK, speaking of scheduling in Big 12, there was a very cryptic tweet about an hour ago from the official Big 12 account that just says 9/26/24. So we're all assuming that's when they're going to finally release the basketball schedule.
So 2 days.
Apparently, this is not an official word, but that's the word on the street, is that in a couple of days we'll finally get to figure out if it's going to be Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday. Like, there's a lot of unknowns.
I mean, think about it. Like, practice for the women started yesterday. I believe practice for the men started today.
Right.
For Tommy Lloyd's crew, and we don't even know the back half of the schedule. My goal was, somebody asked me like 2 months ago, I said, I hope I get it by October 1st. That was my goal. So looks like that will happen.
Barely squeaking it in.
Yeah, barely squeaking it in, but it sounds like we'll know. I got to make my schedules. I got to know where I'm putting games. I got to know, what this new league is going to be about and how it's all going to work. And like I said, we kind of can look at the how they've kind of formatted it for volleyball and soccer, because those are the two sports that closely resemble basketball. And it appears that they're staying with the travel partner philosophy of putting, obviously, Arizona and Arizona State. As we mentioned, this week, Arizona Volleyball is going to go down to Texas, and essentially they're playing the same two teams that the soccer team played last week. They'll go down and play Baylor and TCU. So it appears that's kind of the way they're formulating this thing to this point. And so I would imagine they're probably going to stay with that. We just don't know when the games, if it's going to be, will they maybe stay with that Pac-12 format of Thursday, Saturday, or is there going to be more of the Big 10 format, or Big 12 format, which it was kind of a Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. It's got to obviously be Monday, Tuesday. I don't think you can have basketball teams leaving on Fridays and not coming back till potentially Wednesdays. I don't think that works. So if you're playing your first game on a Saturday, your second game obviously is going to be on a Monday or a Tuesday. So we'll see. We'll find out for sure, apparently, as J-Dub mentioned, coming up here in about 2 days. Anxiously awaiting that for sure. Also, we'll update you on everything that's happening with Pima Aztecs. Volleyball and the soccer teams up there continue to play well, though the women's soccer team lost their first game. over the weekend. We've also started playing some flag football. The ladies, second season of flag football, more teams in Southern Arizona. There's some games tonight. We'll update you. There was one game last night, a rivalry game. We'll tell you what happened in that game as well. We'll hear from Jonathan Gannon, the head coach of your Arizona Cardinals, after a loss to the Detroit Lions and where he thinks his team is after 3 games. Does he have an assessment of what this is all about? 3 games in at 1-2 for the Arizona Cardinals. You'll hear from the head coach there. Also, we'll give you your BetQL 5-star play of the day. They're still sending us losers. That's for sure. Last night, the 5-star play. Oh gosh, what was I don't have it directly in front of me, but it was, I believe it was the Marlins game again. I'm sorry, it was the Royals and the Nationals. They said take the over at 7.5, and of course the final was 6-1.
What's the over on number of home runs and stolen bases at the end of the season for
Shohei?
I mean, I think he's got 55 stolen bases. He had 2
We'll
more
have
yesterday.
to look and see if there's a prop on that.
I think he's got now. He's up to
prop.
55 stolen bases and like 53
home runs is what I think I last
I mean, he was
saw
the first to
that.
do 43. So now it's just getting
55 is I don't think he gets. I mean, obviously he's not going to get to 60, but 55 definitely is.
Never
is a
say
nice
never.
possibility.
Never say never. Remember, he had 3 home runs and 5 stolen bases in the one game against the Marlins. I'm not saying that the pitching is bad the rest of the way, but get one guy that he can really jump on a fastball on, and hey, if he has another 3 home run game in him, now we're having a conversation.
And the next game out, they play that famous Sammy Hagar song. I can't drive 55, right? Because he's going to have 55 home runs and 50. I mean, I would not put it past him to hit 2 more dingers
at least
in this season. No.
Yeah,
I mean, at the pace he's at now, I think he's got 7 in his last 5 games or something ridiculous like that.
And if you root for the Diamondbacks, are you starting to get a little bit nervous? DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly, JW Madden, Dragon Ball's here. Audio Bob is with us, Cricket as well. She's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Roadwork potential slowdowns east and westbound on Grant Road. East of Country Club to east of Alvernon Way, travel down to 1 lane. And also Dodge Boulevard south of Grant Road is closed. An excessive heat warning 10 a.m. Friday until 7 p.m. Saturday with our highs near 107. 101 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. You need for your business like banners, flyers, and signs. And Staples will beat any price quote. Plus, now print more, save more. Up to $150 off your print purchase. Offer ends 11/2. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details or staples.com/price match for price match guarantee.
Lots of people around town like to talk about the Cats, but there's only one radio station that's the official home of the Arizona Wildcats. This is the flagship home of Arizona Wildcat Sports. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats enter their inaugural season of the Big 12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action, filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza!
Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downey are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. Ends September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
The Slaughterhouse is celebrating its 20th year. Voted Best Haunted House in the USA in 2021 and Best in Arizona for 5 years in a row. A bone-chilling haunted house transformed from a 1950s meatpacking plant into one giant horrifying walkthrough. 50-plus horror-themed scenes with areas including Necropolis Graveyard, an infested boiler room, creepy clowns in Cirque du Soleil, and City Meats Human Meat Packing Plant. To make the 20th year our best ever, we've added the world-renowned Hell's a Poppin' Circus. The ultimate freak show circus will be right here in Tucson for the month of October. Now open Thursday through Sunday throughout October. SlaughterhouseTucson.com.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from the Slaughterhouse. You can get a general admission ticket for just $14.50, originally $29. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Join David Kelly, Kelvin Yvonne, and Glenn Howe at Corbett's this Saturday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. for the Arizona Game Day pregame show as we get ready for Arizona versus Utah. Sponsored by Coors Light. Choose Chill, official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's football press conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. Sponsored by Coors Light. Choose Chill, official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Like us on Facebook at Wildcats 1290 for all the latest news on the Arizona Wildcats, including exclusive original content and interviews. This is the exclusive home of Arizona football. Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. It's been a minute, and by a minute, I mean forever since I've done this, but a quick shout out to the district, to the DMV, the Beltway, the entire mid-Atlantic region. Yo, Commander fan, wherever you are. How you feeling this morning? Given what you've been through, given how you've had to grind it out year after year after year, you deserve this amazing feeling, this crazy feeling, this feeling of, well, actual hope, the feeling of having a franchise quarterback, the feeling of maybe even having a very bright future. Yeah, I know, the concept of a legitimately bright future is wild to think about when you consider the Commanders and what they've been through. But you know what's even more wild? That we don't need to talk about the future because the future is right now, and it's bright. Jaden Daniels is a straight-up star. The offense is unstoppable right now.
O'Reilly! Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get 15% off a set of Brake Best Select, Select Pro, or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors. Restore quality braking and improve stopping performance with parts and advice from the professional parts people. Save money now when you visit O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and 1 blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. It is a road game week for the University of Arizona, and that means we will be back on a high school campus this Friday night because it is Tuesday, which means it is almost Friday night. Sponsored by DNH, Air Conditioning and Heating. Got to make sure I say that a lot. I'll tell you later in the show where we are going to be this Friday night.
Is that a poll question?
For
Like,
high
guess
school.
where we're going to be on Friday night?
You can, if people want to guess, they can text us their guesses, 520-848-1290. If you can text a guess of where you think we're going to be, if you want to text where you would like us to be, there's a bunch of games to choose from this week. We like to try to highlight some schools maybe we've never been to or never seen before, and so we got a nice choice this weekend. So we'll let you know that coming up. We'll drop that in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll wait. We usually drop it on Wednesdays. We'll give it to you on Tuesdays. We'll drop that coming up for you in the 5 o'clock hour. I'll let you know exactly when a little bit later because I mentioned a few weeks ago they want us to be very exact on our timing. Don't say 5 o'clock hours. Say 5:05 is when you're going to announce stuff. Anyway, I had the game wrong when I was talking about our BetQL 5-star plays from last night. I said the Royals Nationals. I said that's actually the 5-star play for tonight from BetQL. So they're saying take the over tonight on the Royals and the Nationals. The Royals are they're playing for their playoff lives. They're trying to stay in this thing right now, the American League wild card. But they think there'll be a lot of runs in that game tonight. So, of course, that means we should probably take the under because the BetQL people have not had too many right answers in this so far. That game actually is already it's actually delayed, I think, in the first inning. There's a little rain in Washington tonight. But so you can still bet, obviously. Take the over 7.5 is what they're saying on Royals Nationals. It was actually the Mariners-Astros game last night. They said take the over at 7.5, and it came in at 6-1 in favor of, I believe, the Astros won that game last night as they're trying to knock the Mariners out of the playoffs. All right, we'll talk some more baseball coming up a little bit later. But right now, we want to get back to the NFL from last night. And we mentioned in the first part of the show today, how about the fact, or did we mention the TJ McConnell thing in the first, or did we say that?
I'm not sure
No,
you
we
did.
did not.
John Fina was talked about.
We talked about John Fina. 2 Arizona alums this weekend had the hype, what do they call it? The pregame hype roll. I don't know if there's like an official name for that. Like I mentioned last week we went to the Cardinals game and Noah Lyles was the one that turned the horn. And I know what do they do up in Seattle? Seattle, they do something. They do something funky everywhere.
The 12-man flag.
They raise the 12-man flag in Seattle. I think somebody blows like a foghorn in Minnesota. I think that they do that. I think we in Cleveland, we smash a guitar because it's rock and roll Hall of Fame, rock and roll city, whatever. There's something that happens in pretty much every NFL city now to kind of hype the fans. Exactly, these gimmicks to hype the fans before the beginning of the game. But you had 2 Arizona alums this week. You had John Fina on Monday Night Football before the Buffalo Bills game, and you had TJ McConnell at Lucas Oil Field hyping up the Colts before their game. I think they won, too, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't they won that game?
They won that game, but barely. They won that game, but barely.
They won. Hey, like we said last week, it doesn't matter how it looks. It just matters that you stack them W's. So we'll let you hear both. We'll let you hear both of those. First, let's hear John Fina getting his Bills Mafia crowd hyped last night in Buffalo.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? We'd second that.
That was, of course, the famed line by Marv Levy. I believe he spoke that in a post-game after a playoff game. Where would you rather be than right here, right now? I guess I couldn't make out a whole bunch of the other stuff, but I guess
You could have fooled me. I could have thought I was listening to Queen at Live Aid with Freddie Mercury. Ayo, ayo, ayo.
I think the mic was messed up because you couldn't really hear him.
He was yelling into the microphone. That had to be what was going on.
Out.
He was shorting out the mic. It was right there in his hand.
We'll have to get Fina on the show this Saturday, and he can explain his experience up there. So John Fita gets the Bills Mafia hyped up before an absolute bludgeoning of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 47-10 was the final. We mentioned Josh Allen, 23 of 30 in this game, 263 yards through 4 touchdown passes. But the highlight of this game was this play that happened on defense.
From the 41, play fake, stepping up, fire, intercepted at the 40 to the 45. It's DeMar Hamlin. Outside right to the 45, gets a block at the 42 and gets wrestled down at the Jacksonville 41. A terrible overthrow of Brian Thomas Jr. and an easy pick for DeMar Hamlin with prime field position for the Bills. They pose for a team picture in the corner of the end zone. Ross, it's hard to have a dagger with 4:13 to go in the second quarter. That feels like one.
He was wide open, and Trevor Lawrence just airmailed it. It's an unacceptable interception by the Jaguars quarterback.
Yeah, it was 34-3 at halftime of that game. Unacceptable to say the least. But how about DeMar Hamlin with his first career interception on Monday Night Football after, again, he almost died on Monday Night Football in a game against the Bengals at the beginning of 2023. DeMar Hamlin, after the ball game, on leading his team out of the tunnel prior to the game as well.
Now, you was the last one running out of that tunnel. What was your mindset on, just setting the tone early?
That's the mindset always, trying to get out there and get off to a fast start just to build momentum into the game. For the offense to go down and score 7 points like that, and then us to get that first 3 and out. We started momentum fast. We started early, and, we was able to just keep building on it throughout the game.
What was it like for you to run out of that tunnel?
It was special. We all know my last start on Monday Night Football and how that game went. So to be able to come all the way back from that and to have a special moment like that, it's all God right there, So, I've been giving him the praise like crazy lately, because it wasn't easy. But I'm super thankful to my teammates for just the support and the love. That it was encouraging, and it makes all the emotions way easier when you just go out there and you think about, I just want to make plays for my teammates. It makes it all simple again.
First career interception, take us to the play, the feeling afterwards.
Just seeing the shot formation, so I got my depth, and just watching quarterback eyes, was able to make a break and make a play on the ball. Felt good, man. Felt good getting that first one out the way.
Yeah, and he had 2 pass breakups to go along with that. 10 tackles last week in the win over the Miami Dolphins down in Florida, 31-10. So, again, this was a guy that, he came back last year, saw some time. People really weren't sure if he was really there to be a player or just there to be, a symbol. But this year, he's actually on the field, and he's making a difference for this Bills defense, and that is really great to see. Von Miller, he didn't even have the words when he was asked about it post-game on Monday Night Football.
DeMar with his first interception, the crowd went crazy. Everybody ran out on the field, man. It was inspiring.
Yeah, inspiring indeed. 47-10, not so inspiring, the performance for the Jacksonville Jaguars last night. All right, we also mentioned that T.J. McConnell, Arizona basketball legend, 2014, I believe, maybe 15. I always get his year mixed up there. 2015, actually, I believe it is. Just got a new deal. We talked about that a few weeks ago. He signed a contract extension with the Indiana Pacers. He was the guy that was the hype man for the Indianapolis Colts game on Sunday.
Lucas Oil, baby. Go Colts. Go. Amazing, but nervous. Run out of the tunnel with me.
Appreciate you so much, baby.
Appreciate you, man. Yes, sir. Good to see you, bro. Guy. Good to see you again. Proud of you. Doing all right? Happy for you. I appreciate it. I know all the people all the time. Me and you are cut from the same cloth. That's right. We persevere and we find a way to make it work. Even the grind. No doubt. Yeah, always. I got a lot of love for you. What up, boy? You good? Yeah, you good? Do you think I should do that, not this?
So do what you do. What do you do in the NBA in our game? So do that. Be you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yo, stop.
Hey, have you seen a prettier ball?
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm such a big fan. Thank you.
So I gotta get your both predictions. Who you guys going with today?
Both by 100.
Oh.
He took my line. I literally I just told him I was gonna say that. You know, cite your sources, but the Colts. And I'm pulling a Pat McAfee. I'm a fan. Thank you.
Oh yeah, TJ, congrats, baby.
Thank you.
We can all stay through. When I had to do this, you were so excited.
I was pumped for you.
It was as if you would never get the opportunity.
I didn't think I would.
Here we go.
I feel like Thor. So you said hold it like this when you hit it?
No, I like your form.
No, you said let it go though.
Slide your hand as you're going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
More anxious right now. TJ on the court took over at that point. It was awesome. I can't describe it.
TJ McConnell. The J is for John Henry, if you know what I'm talking about. He looked like little John Henry there with that hammer.
I'll tell you what.